It's good to start with general kindness. It's good to add to that service. But the question is, what's the next step? And then I would say that is the ethics of care. Relational thinking is our core business. We are not just producing students or producing figures or producing excellence. We want to educate and formate people.
Professor Andries Baart is an extraordinary professor in optaintia and a senior faculty member of the University of Utrecht's Medical Center in the Netherlands. During a recent visit to South Africa, the Dutch researcher shared his perspective on an ethic of care and linked it to the values and dreams of the Northwest University.
Well, I was very much intrigued by the opportunity to lecture about the issue of the ethics of care, and then people said to me, please look to the website. And then I saw that on the landing page, the first thing was the dreams and intentions, and there I found we want to be a university in the ethics with the ethics of care. It's incredible. For me, it's really incredible. I know no other university, not that I know all of them, but I know no other university that has on its landing page, on the first intention, said we want to be a university that respects the ethics of care.
I've worked at other universities, and this is the first time that I've encountered an ethic of care as part of people and culture practices. So it's novel, it's exciting, and it has me feeling that there's an organization that is caring for individuals that work here.
So it's unique, it's very unique, and I hope very much from my heart that it will be a success.
The ethic of care perspective profoundly challenges our established ways of thinking about ethical issues in all possible domains.
The ethics of care is about this kind of voice. The voice you hardly can hear. So hardly can hear means not talk louder, it means looking for recognition. So the ethics of care wants to think about that voice, research about that voice, be an advocate for that kind of voice. The soft voice hardly heard in ethics. Don't start immediately with doing things, but start with thinking about things. I think that one of the risks of the ethics of care is that people think that it's a general kind of kindness. And then they start implementing kindness, which is always a good thing. Or they start implementing good communications, which is a good thing. But after all, it's not care ethical thinking.
For me, when I think ethic of care, I think about putting the needs of other people foremost in everything that I do.
To me, ethic of care simply means to take into account the human factor in everything that we do, to acknowledge the fact that we're working with people and to treat them as fairly as possible.
The ethic of care really talks to the spirit of Ubuntu. It's over and above what we produce as a Northwest University product. Over and above the degree that a student gets from here, it's his or her relevance in the society, in the community.
For me, there are three important underlying principles. The first is concern for others. Second is empathy. And then if you're concerned about others and you're empathic, it's followed by action.
An ethic of care is not necessarily something that you will find in a policy document, but I believe there are a number of things we can do. First of all, a commitment to dialogue, to deliberate on issues, is critical. It's through dialogue that we create understanding.
I think when you talk about an ethic of care, it's very important to emphasize compassion and empathy. At our university, it is intrinsic. I experience this with staff, for example, who are willing to do a lot more after hours, who are ever willing to go beyond the call of duty.
coming from the background that I come from, growing up in the township, understanding the hardships of growing up in the township, understanding the hardships of the majority of the population of our students, which is black students. I try to put myself in their shoes, and I try to think of my years as a student and the things that I struggled with.
And when working with colleagues and staff members, to listen to them and to actively listen and not just sit and speak to someone, to really listen to what they have to say.
It is a very central biblical context, and I've tested with all religions. It's there in Hindu. You look at the Jewish, they've got it. You look at Baha'i, they have that. All religions have got this golden rule. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Any unethical behavior, be it finance, research, the way we speak about people, and any unethical behavior can create an uncaring environment.
Firstly, the test of the ethic of care for me must start from the management. At a management level, I've always said, in a way of a 360-degree evaluation, we must always check with our subordinates if they indeed look forward to coming to work every day. Just check if your subordinates look forward to coming to work. If not, then there's an indication there's a problem somewhere.
I would say the intention. First of all, the intention, so that's a good thing. Then knowing what it is. And then we have to look where those domains of applications are. And then I would say, as the Vice Chancellor of this university said, the management is a good entry. I would say the way students are supervised, helped, tutor system, very good entry. So it's not just one entry. Normally people choose as entry the personnel, and they are stressing good attitudes, specific virtues, courtesy, and things like that. That's a good idea, but not without the management and not without good care for the students. So a few entries together, that would be a good beginning. What it means to be a care ethical university has been sketched in this lecture. Just a sketch. You have seen the central concepts. It's about relationality, strong relationality, on all levels. Priority to the discourse of care above the discourse of justice. Connected to the lived life and connected to being present. It's feasible. It's not easy. It's worthwhile adventure, I would say. I think that there should be a kind of consensus within the management of the university what it is. So it's not just being oriented to service, to courtesy, to kindness, etc. All very much appreciated, but that is not yet the standard of the ethics of care. And then I hope that they will start, in the end, will start with students and say, well, we want to be a university in South Africa. We have precarious students with very complicated kinds of loyalties, backgrounds. We are in a period, an episode of transition. So let's help students and not just be concentrated on the output of the curriculum. No, we want to be a good academic university, but we care about our students. Very good. And then I would add immediately, and care about our teachers. Teachers are very much in the precarious situations in modern universities. They have to produce, and if not, so in a care ethical university, we care about our students, not just as the consumers of our curriculum, and we care about our teachers and that kind of people, not because they are the producers, but because we care about people.